Hello friends, and welcome back to some Malygos Druid. I guess it is a Malygos Giants Druid. This deck basically relies on the classic Druid ramp in order to get us into our mid and late game a little bit faster than we normally would. And then we use for one of our big finishers, we have Malygos combined with a couple Moonfires for, 12 damage, and then if we have a couple Living Roots, each Living Roots turns into 7 damage. Each Moonfire is 6 damage, so we have potential for a really big burst at the end of the game. And we have a few spell power cards along the way that help us out. I'm really not sure how this matchup is. We'll see. If they miss turn 1, I think we're in a little bit better shape. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate, I think. I feel like ramping is still the right thing to do because we get to 4 nice and quick, and if we do top deck a Mire Creeper, we're in really good shape. And if not, we'll survive. I am tempted here to play Fandral. And so yeah, there are a bunch of other big minions in this deck that go along with the Malygos finisher. We have a Thaurissan, 1 Ancient of War, 1 Rag, and then obviously 1 Rag, and then 2 Arcane Giants that can come out for very, very cheap sometimes by the end of the game on the same turn as a Rag, which leaves our board very, very strong. So this deck is interesting that way, and because Druid has so many early game spells, I obviously don't want to swipe. I don't necessarily want to give up Fandral for nothing. Not that I really have any combo cards in hand right now, but at the same time, and because we have Malygos, I'm tempted to hang on to the Moonfire, but at the same time I feel like I can fall very, very far behind our opponent, especially if they do coin out and buff one of their minions here. Oh, it's very unfortunate that this is not a Wrath or something like that, although I'd probably Wrath here. I like this play better. I know it's silly because we were just talking about how the main win condition here is Malygos, but I feel like against Hunter, when we're going up against what could potentially be a very fast deck, we kind of want to keep our health total a little bit higher. Even though Call of the Wild is gone, I think Hunter still has a lot of very aggressive and very strong. That's unfortunate for us, but 3 damage. Hopefully we get a Living Roots or... I was going to say a Living Roots or not a Wild Growth, a Wrath, or even a Feral Rage would be nice right now. But now we really run the potential of falling very far behind, which is starting to get a little bit scary because we don't really have a lot of great things in hand. And if we don't start clearing our opponent's boards soon, we're going to have a really hard time when Savannah Highmane comes down on 6. So we kind of hit half of our ramp here. Now one of the things that this deck, it does only have 3 ramps. We only have 2 Wild Growths and 1 Mire Keeper because we tried to make room for a couple other things here. But I think it still can work. These combo decks are always a little bit more fun to play because you're trying to piece together, was it better for me to use that Moonfire or was it better to save it for Malygos? Are you going to be able to make it to Malygos' turn if you don't use your resources earlier? And this is kind of what I was talking about. This could potentially be very, very bad for us. Now we do have the swipe to help remove it. Although I like innervating out a Rag right now, especially because we just saw a Deadly Shot. So if either of these 2 get hit, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, face. Okay, I was scared that the angle, I don't know why. At first I was kind of scared at the angle that was going at. And now we still have a swipe and a mulch if something big comes down, but I'm not really expecting it. I think our opponent still has the coin, to be honest with you, which is kind of scary. But I think we definitely not stabilized and not close to stabilizing, I don't think, because there's just way too many resources in our opponent's hand, but we'll see. We shall see. There's lots of decent, now that we're into the later 7 mana next turn. I mean, Ancient of War is great. Harrison Jones is not bad. Azure Drake is great. Even a Mire Keeper continuing to ramp. Lots of our early game spells are still pretty decent at this point. The only thing I guess we don't really want to see is a Wild Growth. Wild Growth later on in the game is pretty good as well. I really don't mind it. Oh, I thought I'd already taken that 4 damage. And now this is the thing with Hunter where it's like we might just be too far behind. That it just might not matter. And I'll start armoring up here, but it might just be a little too late. Which is kind of interesting in this matchup where, like, if I'm able to hit my... Like, if I'd gotten one of the Mire Creeper... If I'd gotten this Mire Creeper off earlier, we could have potentially done some interesting things. But right now it's not looking too great. I mean, this is another 5 damage to face, and there's really no reason for our opponent not to just start doing everything at face, I don't think, once you're this low. I don't have... Yeah, one of the things that I did take out of this deck is a Moonglade Portal, which, maybe, maybe not, was a good idea. Not really going to do too much. Yeah, that's too bad. If they'd held it for one more turn, and if we get a Harrison Jones, we could be in real business, but I'm expecting this is an explosive shot right now. I wonder how much damage. Actually, we can ramp here. Let's see. I think we have potential here to actually pull out a win. And the reason why I think that is because if this is explosive shot, I'll use my resources to clear whatever's on board. And then I'll Malygos. Oh, is that lethal? 2 force. Oh, okay. How do we do this? Okay, so my plan... Oh, Harrison Jones. 2 turns too late. Okay, so basically I think... Well, we're dead no matter what next turn, right? So the plan is I think we just Malygos 7 face, and then hope that Rag also goes face. And we'll go 33% for the win, right? Right, because it's going to be 3... I'm going to be dead no matter what. So it's just one of those... Rag 33% for the win. Every time. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright, that was fun though. Hey, sometimes you're gonna get that 33%, right? So thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs up are great. If you want to be seeing more of these, feel free to subscribe. There's a little button that says subscribe. Apparently that's how you're supposed to do it. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time.